Drama continues to swirl around Novak Djokovic, with the federal government still considering potentially evicting him through controversial ministerial powers. Live to Jonathan Lee. Jonathan, will the world number one be allowed to play?
Danica, good morning to you. Well, that is the question. The world's number one has certainly spent the night pondering, and tennis fans around the world wondering. He now has to wait for the Immigration Minister Alex Hawke to make his decision with rarely used ministerial powers. Bear in mind, of course, the judge yesterday found, the federal judge, that the federal government's treatment of Novak Djokovic was invalid and unfair, and determined that taxpayers will have to pick up the cost of that legal case. But in a statement issued on behalf of the Immigration Minister, and I should say the Immigration Minister's office isn't answering telephone calls this morning from the media, or at least not from me. It goes on to say, following today's Federal Circuit and Family Court determination on a procedural ground, it remains with Immigration Minister Alex Hawke's discretion to consider cancelling Mr Djokovic's visa under his personal power of cancellation within the Migration Act. The Minister is currently considering the matter, and the process remains ongoing. The Minister does have the power, if he acts here, to evict Novak Djokovic from the country to prevent him returning for 3 years. Now, that's unlikely to happen. It would just be for this period through the Australian Open. Of course, it's because he's unvaccinated. His mother was asked about this in the press conference last night. This is what she had to say.
What would you say to the Australian government now about that chance of him being deported?
I don't want to say anything about that. I mean, they are doing whatever they need to do, but we will fight again.
Now, Danica, Nigel Farage is a former English politician, former leader of the UK Brexit Party. He's a politician who's championed Australia's hard position on borders for a number of years. But even he has gone on to say on British television, I mean, is Australia a country based on the rule of law, or is it a country where governments can exercise arbitrary power? If that judgment is overruled, what's the difference between Australia and a banana republic? Christina Keneally was on Sky earlier. She's the shadow immigration minister.
Australia looks like a bit of a joke on a world stage right now. It's the Morrison government looks like a pack of idiots that couldn't organise a meat tray in their local RSL raffle. And it would be a joke, except the consequences here are so serious. Australians, for the past 2 years, have done the hard work of lockdowns. They have done the hard work of vaccinations.
Now, the Prime Minister, Danica, has boxed himself into a position here. He says there's no special treatments and rules are rules. They are his statements over the past week. But we now have a position where a federal judge has determined that a player who is unvaccinated can play in front of fans who can only be there if they have been vaccinated. It starts to become a very awkward position, Danica.
Yes, it certainly does. Jonathan Lee, thank you.